we encounter another remnant.
The war has already begun. Let's go inside. Just imagine.
We're starting tonight.
From all these Soviet Union factories,
Behind me is the abandoned former government headquarters of the Republic of Abkhazia in Sukhumi, the capital. Following the 1992-93 Georgia-Abkhazia conflict and the total collapse of relations, few countries, including Russia, Venezuela, Nicaragua, and Syria, recognized the Republic of Abkhazia as independent. The rest of the international community considers it a part of Georgia. That's why you won't find it listed as an independent country on platforms like Wikipedia or Google Maps. Join me today to learn a little more about this republic full of contrasts, which was once considered the pearl of Soviet tourism. Although it's considered part of Georgia, the reality in daily life is quite different. To enter the republic, you'll need to go through the border crossing, either from Russia or from Georgia, and show your visa, which, unlike in Georgia, is required to visit the territory for tourism purposes. In my case, I flew to the nearest Russian airport in Sochi, and from there I traveled to the border. Every day, many Abkhazians use this crossing to work in Russia, causing lines of up to 3 hours to enter and exit. When we cross the border, we immediately understand why it is a de facto independent state. The currency in use is not the Georgian lari, but the Russian ruble, and they use Moscow time instead of Georgia's time zone. The recent history of this republic is marked by the
war and the subsequent economic blockade that prevented its development.
I've noticed many cars in Abkhazia have the steering wheel on the right. And now, of course, now everything makes sense because look.
Here you can see a crane with Japanese letters.
The majority of the cars we see are old models that come from Europe or Japan and find a market in Abkhazia. As we travel through the country, it's inevitable to come across numerous memorials and improvised mausoleums dedicated to those considered national heroes who gave their lives for independence. It may vary depending on the sources. The armed conflict left a total of around 30,000 civilians dead, most of them of Georgian ethnicity.
5,000 casualties between both armies and more than 200,000 displaced people.
Until 1931, Abkhazia and Georgia were different socialist republics, but then the Soviet leaders reconsidered and included Abkhazia as an autonomous region of the Socialist Republic of Georgia. When the Soviet Union disintegrated in 1991, Abkhazia wanted independence, and Georgia did not want to lose the territory. Because of this, on August 14, 1992, the armed conflict between Georgia and Abkhazia began, ending in 1993 with Abkhazia's independence from Georgia.
I worked in this government building. When the war started, we were inside. Can you imagine, Georgians? They started shooting at us from there. We couldn't get out. Then somehow they calmed down. They talked to each other.
Nimi Georgians?
There were a lot of their friends, acquaintances, people who knew them. And they let us through. They were standing there with their guns like this, and they let us through.
My God, this was amazing.
Amazing. No one thought we were going to make it out.
Oh my God, how many people were in the building? A lot?
A lot.
A lot, everyone.
The ministers, everyone was.
Here, my God. And how do you live now with this feeling?
That's it. Shibeo German. I'm Momperiosa. There's a lot of damn stuff in bottles here. But they were taken care of and didn't come to work.
The conflict not only led to a unilateral declaration of independence, but also caused a mass exodus of much of the Georgian and Russian population. Many of the factories and industries that flourished during Soviet times were left deserted after the conflict ended, as were the cities that grew up around them.
Recently, I've just seen cows wandering here. No one else is around.
This depopulation of the region is equally evident throughout Abkhazia. Wherever we go, we'll see abandoned buildings and houses. An example of this is what used to be the civil airport of Abkhazia, in Sukhumi.
Here I am in what used to be the old
Sukhumi Airport. Now abandoned, and although partially renovated, it is only used for military purposes. And this here, I imagine, would have been the passenger terminal or where the luggage was picked up. This is what it looks like today. Here we have an old Aeroflot logo, the Russian airline with the symbol, the sickle, the hammer, and the wings. And the old arrival and departure flight boards.
And here,
The ticket counters. How's it going, buddy? Are you the only passenger at the airport today?
how are you holding up? Where are you going?
Hehe. Let's get out of here now. Everyone has recommended that I try the traditional dish of Abkhazia. It's a dough that's usually served with cheese, beans, or with ajika, a typical sauce from the region.
Mana and grupa with cinnamon.
Everything.
All of this is mixed and cooked.
Is this the cheese? Yes.
Is this the home cheese? The home cheese.
Yes. So how do you eat it?
Do you usually eat it with your hands?
Your hands?
Yes, you eat it with your hands, you...
Eat?
And you eat it with cheese.
Like this? Yes.
Like this.
Is it? Yes, it is. That's right. That's how it is. That's right.
All right. Yes, all right. And how it... Do you eat all of this with the cheese?
Very delicious. Very delicious.
Thank you. I don't think it's delicious.
Considered the pearl of Soviet tourism in the region, even called the Soviet Riviera. Both the average citizen and the top Soviet leaders, like Stalin or Khrushchev, used to come here on vacation to rest, where they had their dachas. During the 60s, 70s, and 80s, many tourist resorts were built when Abkhazia enjoyed popularity and was chosen as a tourist destination by Soviet citizens. They were attracted by its beaches and other natural attractions like the cave Malaga, the largest in Europe, or Lake Eritsa. Another remnant we find from what was the golden age of tourism during the Soviet era. Here in Abkhazia, it's this half-built hotel right on the beachfront. When the conflict between Abkhazia and Georgia broke out, it was never finished. Like most of the buildings we see around here, it was abandoned and never recovered. But just so you can see what was lost, look at the views the apartments in this hotel would have had. Nowadays, Abkhazia is slowly returning to normal, surrounded by mountains and sea. Its economy is mainly focused on tourism, citrus fruits, and wine. It's a country of contrasts, where modern bars and hotels coexist, with buildings where there are still bullet holes or, in the best cases, restored but unused. Here we can see why the expression that Abkhazia is a country full of contrasts makes sense. We have an abandoned, half-finished building, and on the corner, a newly opened supermarket. Let's go.
Let's see.
It depends on the
President, we've
talk. There is hope, yes.
There is hope.
Thank you very much. All the best. All the best.